Vice President of the Neil Diamond Fan Club here in Charlotte County, because you know who the president is.
Linda.
Linda, yeah. And a lady I met the other night, Vibha Kumar, who's a certified yoga therapist from Port Charlotte. And you're doing yoga for balance.
Yes.
During the Parkinson's Seminar. And Ramon and I have talked many times about how Parkinson's patients deal with everyday life. And yoga would be ideal for them, wouldn't it?
It will be, yes, very much so. Because it doesn't just work with balance, it improves their movement, and it is a progressive movement. We do it with breath awareness, with relaxation, so they're not so tight about what they're going to do. So it's
Gives them a state of ease.
well, oh yes.
Yeah. You notice I'm not talking to you at all.
I understand. Good morning. How are you?
I'll talk to you, Ramon. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
How are the kids?
Oh, the kids are doing very well.
How's Sarah doing?
Sarah is finishing her senior year at Emory and getting a little bit anxious about her upcoming interviews for dental school.
Well, I gotta tell you something. The lady that sang Black Velvet the other night at the, she works with Dr. Asperilla at Fawcett, infectious disease. Forget her name, Mary. And she actually went to Emory.
Oh, there you go.
And she had the most beautiful voice.
Oh yes, I liked her singing.
Oh, she did Black Velvet, and I said, have you ever heard the Emory a cappella group? No, she said, but I heard they were in town. Yeah, I said they were. But both Jose, when's he graduate?
Jose finished already. He is now doing his first year of a fellowship he's in Peoria. And
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, we were there recently, and it's a nice place.
Is it?
Yes, and he's now going to be moving next year to do the second year in outside St. Louis, Missouri, for another year in implantology.
All right, so now you've got the Parkinson's Disease Fall Symposium, which you've been working on. This is, I think, about 8 symposiums that I've dealt with that you've put on.
Well, over the years, I don't remember really how many we've done, but certainly since the late 90s, we've been doing this every year in different formats and in different areas in Southwest Florida with the intention of providing patients, caregivers, and the medical community with fresh, newest information or the state-of-the-art
Right.
for the treatment of Parkinson's disease and related disorders. And this year we have the pleasure of having not only Mrs. Kumar participating in the yoga section, but we have also an outstanding clinical psychologist, Dr. Gill, who will be working with the caregivers in a special section just for them.
To me, that when Dr. Hubert talks about that kind of stuff, as a psychologist, the caregivers with Parkinson's is very important, because I know my sister did it for a year. As you know, you worked with my mom for a while, and she went back home, and she said to die. But it's so tough.
It is.
Because you don't know what's going on with them.
Well, one of the ideas that we have always promoted is that the more they know, the better prepared patients or the better educated patients and caregivers are, they will be more comfortable. They are not to be afraid. They know what to expect, and they understand the process, so it will be easier for them.
Now, does the patient know cognitive awareness enough to know what's going on with his body, but they just...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Patients with Parkinson's disease do often experience some cognitive problems, but that is not to say that patients are impaired to a point that they don't realize what they are facing and how to deal with that. The idea of Parkinson's disease today is very different than years ago, and patients with Parkinson's should live, for the most part, a very good quality of life, should enjoy that. And this is not the same disease that used to be seen years ago.
Now, the symposium is this weekend, this Saturday, at the Charlotte Harbor Event and Conference Center. It's 7:30 to 12:30. It's $20 per person or $30 per couple. I would say this would be, if you've been diagnosed with Parkinson's recently, or some spouse or caregiver, this is something you both should attend. Would it help the caregiver do the yoga along with the patient? You know, as far as the caregiver goes, they need to relax. They need to get.
It does, and that's what we did last year. Of course, like you said, Dr. Gill has been doing it for a few years now, so that's what exactly we did. But again, Dr. Gill likes to change the program, give it a little variety. So this year we're doing yoga only for patients.
And this year we've got medical treatment of moderate to advanced Parkinson's with Dr. Gill, starting at 8:30 in the morning. 9:30 surgical treatment for Parkinson's disease with Dr. Sam Javidan, neurosurgeon from Department of Neurology at Lee Memorial Hospital. You'll break at 10:30, then you'll do yoga for balance with patients. And then you get caring for the caregiver at the same time with Dr. Huber, who's a psychologist from Venice. And you got questions and answers. Do you get a lot? I would assume you would get a lot of questions and answers.
Yes, indeed, we have many patients that not only at the end, but they will be interacting with us, which is one of the opportunities that they have to, for example, ask questions to Dr. Javidan about surgery. Many times patients are intimidated of the idea of having surgery, and he is not only an excellent neurosurgeon, but very nice person and very approachable. So this will be a great opportunity for them to interact with him. I do have a comment and a question for Vibha. I was quite impressed learning the benefits of yoga for back problems. And again, to have Parkinson's doesn't mean that you are not going to have back problems or vice versa. And if you could expand or tell us something about yoga and back problems, back pain, etc.
Yeah, again, we all know that our spinal column houses our endocrine system,
Right.
the nervous system, all the glands. And most of the yoga poses that we do, they are about stretching the spine, making it more flexible, improving circulation. So it really gears towards a healthy spine. And when that happens, your lower back problem is automatically
Lessened.
released, or it's manageable.
I hadn't even thought about that way.
Last year, there was a very interesting study published in New England Journal of Medicine, in which they compared, yes.
And we've got to take a break. We've got to go. Lovejoy's up next. And I think you're going to be with Lovejoy for a little bit, too.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Vibha, thank you.